all of these devices can get me amazing image quality, and at the same time, they all run into the same issue: bad audio. So here's an audio sample using the Sony a7S III. This is the camera that I use for almost all of my content, and I'm using the camera's internal microphone. And here's another quick sample. I'm using the exact same setup, except for I'm using the Saramonic Air, so the microphone is much closer to me. I'm also using the windscreen, which I'll talk more about later on. All right, so this is the Saramonic Air. It's a comprehensive system that is a great option for vloggers, YouTubers, or anyone who wants to easily record better audio for their videos. This system can work with cameras, cell phones, action cameras, cinema cameras, and it's kind of nuts how much you get when you buy it. So there are two transmitters with built-in microphones, and they can also use the included lavalier microphones. You get a single receiver that can be used with USB-C for phones or action cameras. You can use this same receiver with a TRS cable if you have a mirrorless DSLR or cinema camera. And if you have a Sony camera that has a digital multi-interface shoe, there is an optional adapter that works super well. I love it. I'll tell you more about it in just a moment. Now, I've used other similar systems, and so far this might be the most versatile option in terms of connectivity. There is no need to pair anything, and the first time I just opened the case, took out the microphones, and everything was ready to go. One cool feature if you're using a phone is that the receiver has a USB-C port, so you can actually charge your phone while the receiver is plugged in, and this way you have continuous power. So let's start with a couple of phone samples, and as a note, no processing has been done to any of the audio samples. So let's start with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this is what it sounds like when I'm using the iPhone's internal microphone. And now I'm still using the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I haven't moved any closer or farther away, but I'm using the Saramonic Air. Next, we're gonna go with the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and once again, we're going to start with the phone's internal microphone. And now, same phone, again, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, but I just went ahead and connected the Saramonic Air, and you should hear a pretty noticeable difference. And finally, let's do the Pixel 9 Pro. We're gonna go ahead and start with the phone's internal microphone, and this will give you a good idea of what that's going to sound like. And now using the Pixel 9 Pro with the Saramonic Air, and I love that on all three phones, I was able to listen back to the audio without having to unplug the receiver. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, bad audio isn't just a problem with cell phones. So a lot of people spend a ton of money on a camera, lenses, lighting, and a ton of accessories, but then they completely forget about audio. So here I'm using the Sony a7S III, and again, we're gonna go ahead and start with the camera's internal microphone. You can probably hear the birds in the background, traffic, and let's see what the mic sounds like. And now I went ahead and connected the Saramonic Air. I could do it either by using the TRS to TRS cable, or if I have a Sony camera, I can actually mount it right onto the hot shoe. And now you can hear a sample. This is without noise cancellation turned on. And now I went ahead and turned on noise cancellation, so hopefully it's attenuating some of the background noise even better. And we actually have two different levels of noise cancellation, so you can choose between like the best one or just a little bit of noise cancellation depending on where you're shooting. Now, as far as how to attach the microphone, you have a couple of options. So first, each transmitter has a tiny magnet on the back, and you can easily snap it into place on the collar or anywhere else on your shirt or jacket. The receivers also have built-in clips, so you can attach them without a magnet. Now, if you're recording in situations where you have to deal with wind, you also get two small dead cats or windscreens that are super easy to install, and they'll help with removing the wind noise. Now, before we get into the distance test, which was kind of crazy, the setup that I'm using comes with a charging case, and the whole setup, including the case, charges to full capacity with a single cable in about 2.5 hours. When it comes to changing the settings, you can use the 3 buttons on the receiver, but if you're using a phone, the Saramonic app makes things super easy. There are 2 levels of noise cancellation plus an off setting, so you can always get what you need. The system has 3 recording modes: mono, where everything goes to the left and the right channel, and this is great when you're recording one person. There's also a safety mode where channel 2 is recorded at -6 dB, which means that you have more protection from the audio being too loud and clipping. And finally, there is a stereo mode where mic 1 goes to the left channel, mic 2 goes to the right channel. This is perfect for a 2-person setup because you can edit each person's audio separately in post-production in case one person is louder than the other. There's also a low cut filter that can be set to 75 Hz for wind or device operation noise, or 150 Hz, which can help cut out air conditioning or traffic. Another option is a limiter, which automatically caps the maximum audio signal volume to prevent distortion in case someone yells or there's a very loud sound. There are gain settings for each transmitter, a mute on and off button, and EQ options for each transmitter so you can have even better control over your results. This setup also works with my Osmo Pocket 3, and this way I'm getting 24-bit audio from up to 2 sources, and I can connect it directly to the Osmo Pocket 3 or to the battery pack. The included lavalier mics come with a clip that makes it super easy to point them in any direction. You also get windscreens for them, and you can wrap the cable around the clip for additional safety. And here's a quick test with using the lavalier mic. I've got it clipped right up here in my shirt. I've got the wire going all the way down, and then the transmitter is in my pocket, or it can be clipped onto your pants. And this should give you a good idea of what this setup sounds like if you're using the included lavalier microphone. Now, for those of you who have a Sony camera, the adapter is sold separately for $29, and it's great because you don't need to use a cable that can get in the way of your flip screen. Another super important feature is that the receiver has a headphone jack, which means that you can actually monitor audio in real time, and that helps you immediately identify any issues and gives you the ability to make adjustments to correct them right away. So next I want to do a distance test. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start walking away from the camera, and we'll see how far I can get without it actually losing the sound. And now all right, so this is as far as I can go. I'm not sure if the camera can still hear me or not, but we're gonna find out. So I'll go ahead and start walking back. And as I said on the way out, this isn't really a feature that matters to me because I'm certainly never gonna be that far away from the camera, facing away from it. But in theory, I could be that far away from the camera, facing the camera. What's most important is that you have the versatility to use this very small microphone in a lot of different situations rather than having to worry about having a sound person, especially on if you want a very wide shot. You don't really have another option because you can't have a dedicated sound guy that is going to be in the frame. So it's really nice to have something this small that you can be close to the camera, move farther away. Maybe you're filming in your kitchen or around the house or anywhere, and you can move around without having to worry about the quality of your audio. So if it actually picked up my audio from all the way back there, which would be crazy. I was so far away. Like, I wish I could go even farther, but I couldn't. But also, I don't know if it was still hearing my audio. And a lot of people ask me in my other videos, no, I don't leave my camera. I do have a friend that's standing right behind it, just making sure that nobody messes with me. So I'm super excited to listen to this test. So who's the Saramonic Air for? First of all, there are multiple packages ranging from $139 to $169. I've got links to everything in the description. And the Saramonic Air would be a great option for content creators who want a versatile, convenient, plug-and-play system that easily gets them better audio with various devices. Hopefully this video was helpful. You know what I always say, buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.